everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. We've got one of the better defenses in the NFL in action today. The Vikings are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Saints, who will need to be sharp on offense.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Thomas, the man in motion left. A little juke. And some space here. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big gain there on the first play of the game. 45 yards on the ground. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for his tight end Fleeter, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Let's go. 180.
And the wideout in motion. Second down, Bridgewater. Going to throw right side here, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Bridgewater now on second down. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Let's go. Tagger, 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 tagger. 58. 58.
And he motions the wide receiver. A handoff as they run the counter play. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Let's go. Tagger, tagger. Check 15, check 15. Tagger, tagger.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Bridgewater now from the 50. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sheldon Rankins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Let's go. Tiger. Check.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Bridgewater. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him 3 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Bridgewater on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A swing pass caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 24 yards. From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Varga, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Rodgers now to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Let's go.
Here's Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. In motion left, the tight end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Tyler Varga, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The motion man here, Flainer. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, But you also don't have to go ahead and force.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. First down, here's the run with Cook. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. They go play action. Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And the return will stop right around the 25. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got room. Open space inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Varga on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And the route is on here in this first half. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Looking long for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Thomas the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
Now they try the right side here. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Check foot set. Check foot set. Let's go. 12 line.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
Let's go. Blue 58.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. Eluding the pad. He can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
The play clock's running down. Play action now. Bridgewater steps away to his left. And the pressure gets to him again.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 49. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, They're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Back to the ground, this time Cook. Oh, leads him behind on the spin. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 25 yards to pick up there and also a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And now a first down following that long gain. As they run the counter play. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Let's go.
Bridgewater. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah,
what happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On third down, Bridgewater. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
To throw on 3rd down, Rodgers drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Play fake. Bridgewater. It's complete to Diggs. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we're that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnover here in the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. And he's got it up and through. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They run the counter now on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2nd down, Bridgewater. And his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now Bridgewater. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And now they'll run it here off tackle. Able to slither by. And some room to work. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. his second touchdown on the season. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First and 10, here's Rodgers. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. On second down, Kamara. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Saints on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Alex Anzalone, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Now a handoff looking right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help it.